Good evening and welcome to Sister to Sister Can We Talk. We are so excited to be here this evening, wrapping up 6 long, fun weeks. I can say, let me introduce first, Reverend Burton couldn't be here tonight, and Dee is MIA, so we hope you're safe wherever you are, and we miss you. Going to get the business out of the way and say thank you for tuning in. Tonight, please call in 915-5202. We are joined tonight, everybody knows the Mama T, and we are also joined tonight by, let me give it a rundown, my friend, author, motivational speaker, okay, yes. Playwright, Raw. Okay, and we're going to talk, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this because this topic is hot. I'm going to say Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and everything to everybody. So let us just get this going. Okay, so tonight's topic is the curse of infidelity. And I know that's a hot topic. We're going to talk about it. But the reason why we're talking about it is because over these 6 weeks, during our first season, we talked about the lost legacy in the village. And this season, we talked about the restoration of the village. And we find that one of the things that we have to restore, we talked about it, a caller called in last week, is black love. Okay, and just love in general. So I wanted to talk about infidelity, and I think the best person to have on the show to talk about infidelity is the author of Confessions of a Cheating Man. Mm-hmm. I Don't Want to Lose My Wife. The play, okay, is just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So the cheatologist. So first, I'm going to start off for all of our viewers out there. Tell us, Roy, what is a cheatologist?
Well, a cheatologist is one who studies the underlying causes and effect of why people cheat and propose solutions to the conditions and the circumstances.
Okay, and that makes you an expert then? Because that whole cheatologist thing, I love it. I love it. It's very, very unique. I know that you and I had the great pleasure of working together on Love, Lies, and Consequences, mm-hmm. which toured around, and that was a phenomenal, and it was fun, but it was also a message. It was a message that we needed to talk about. We wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to just throw this out there for this hot topic first. Who do you guys think cheat more, men or women? T, I'm going to start with you.
Honestly, I think it's equal. I don't know. Women can be kind of sneaky, you know.
Okay.
I think it's kind of equal there.
Okay.
You just never know. You just never know.
Okay. Raw.
I think with the percentage of it being more women than it is men, but I think men are more prone to cheat than women are.
Okay.
And, you know, a woman really have to be going. Whereas it's different women. It's women who's going through something, tired of getting hurt, they may cheat. Women who don't know commitment may cheat. They may get a husband and still cheat because they're not committed. So but I think men are more prone to taking that advantage.
Okay. I think that one of the things that I think that a lot of times, I know with some of the women that I've known that have crossed that line and cheated, it was more out of retaliation. It was more, mm-hmm. You can do it, let me one up with you. Now, I heard that too about you saying women can be sneaky. Mm-hmm. Who do you guys think cheat more, men or women? Give us a call, 915-5202. One of the things that I always thought about is that, to me, when you cheat yourself.
Definitely.
Okay, when you cheat yourself. What do you think that statement means to you?
Well, because you compromising some values, some principles. If you have any, you're compromising principles and value, and you lose more of yourself when you're cheating against somebody else. I don't think men cheat to get even or to do something mean to a woman. They just respond to certain circumstances. And their best way of dealing with it is cheating.
Okay. T, I see the look on your face. What you think?
Because you say they respond to circumstances. Where's their will that says, I'm not going to do it because I'm in a committed relationship?
Yeah, well, the circumstances that they could be under is something internally. It could be internal circumstances too, like they don't know commitment. They don't know honesty. They have been allowed in so many relationships to do what they do that they feel like every woman is going to allow it. And so many women need men, so they accept anything for that man to stay.
And I know my husband and them laugh at me when I say that, but I agree with him. He has a valid point. And the reason why I say that is because we've been friends for a long time. And you guys know one of the things that I always say is I'm well in tune to my masculine side. And in knowing that, I say, we talked about women being comfortable with having a piece of a man. Okay, just a piece of a man. Okay, or even some men, just some form of relationship. We talked about those manifestations of generational curses that if you have not been taught how to be committed and see things through, right through childhood. Think about it. A lot of time it starts with children picking up something and then 5 minutes later their attention is diverted to something else, and we talk about that. But if we don't correct those behaviors, they manifest themselves into behaviors in the long run, not seeing things through. People that job hunt from one thing to the other. People, to me, that get into situations like that sometimes is they're looking for the next best thing. Think about it like house shopping, okay, or car shopping. If you keep looking, you're going to keep finding something more and more and more. When do you stop shopping? When do you say, you know what, I'm going to just get this car and I'm going to drive this car for the long haul? Okay, and I agree with Roy. I think that a lot of times it is the person. It's internal, and sometimes cheating is not meant to hurt that individual. We talked about this. We talked about hurt people hurting. Okay, we talked about that. In talking about that, let's talk about the betrayal. Let's talk about what that betrayal does, because one of the things that we have to say is, like when we talked about restoring the village, people don't realize that that betrayal does a whole lot. It causes unnecessary stress. It's stressful to cheat. I mean, I just never understood trying to conceal and juggle or whatever and stuff. That's some stress for you. So talk about that, Roy.
Well, it's nerve-wracking, but once you it depends on the consciousness of the individual. If a person has some type of morals, principles, and he step out there, and I don't want to say accidentally, because nobody accidentally fall on top of another woman. So it's not he just choose to step outside his relationship. At that very moment, and a lot of people may disagree, but if you think about it, at that very moment that a man cheats, he don't love his wife. At that very moment, it's not love. Because anybody who betrays the woman who has his back, has his children, who he got a matrimonial bond with, that he disrespect and cheat, then something is gone at that moment from him. And the term I like to call it is temporary insanity. Because you compromise so much in that one moment right there. Your life, you don't know what that woman have. Regardless of how she look, you don't know what she have, and you don't know what you about to bring home. So at that very moment, the love is gone. Do we pick it up? Once a man cheat, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of slack on this, but once a man cheat on his woman, his wife, he don't love her no more. Everything from that point on is pretense.
It's pretense. Because you're concealing, and that's
so
what do you think of
so why stay then?
Okay, the thing about it is we talked about and we talked about wanting to have your cake and eat it too. Okay, some people think about Gladys Knight. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Okay,
that's
some people, that's it in a nutshell.
Right,
some people stay because they're trying to recapture what that pretense is allowed them. Some people genuinely love. There is possible for you to love more than one person, but again, it goes back, hold on, let me finish. But no, what I'm saying is I honestly believe that you can love more than one person, but somewhere along the line, you have to draw that line and say, okay, I am committed. Okay, the wedding vow says, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others until death do us part. Now, God instilled in us emotion, eyes. We all can look and see that fine guy, that fine chick. And I don't even want to just say husband and wife, because there's some people that are in long-term committed relationships. Okay, I don't want to internalize this just for the men. I want to say to my sisters out there also, because there are some men that are being cheated upon. But what I'm saying in that whole spectrum of the thing is, just like you said with the pretense, the pretense on loving on next to nothing. Okay, because again, now the betrayal has happened. Now, one of the things that we notice that when someone crosses that line, they have to now work twice as hard to convince themselves, I love my wife, I love my girlfriend. So then that's how those are the signs that we normally pick up, like, okay, why is this brother all of a sudden acting like, you know, the flowers, the extra candy, the extra compliments, you know, the extra caring of their own personal hygiene. Those are flags, but those are manifestations of a behavior that you did, the betrayal. Okay, so I agree with that. And it becomes an act, it becomes a pretense, it becomes a, now we're out in public and I got to look over my shoulder because I don't know if this chick is going to come in the same restaurant that me, my wife, and my girl is in, or my significant other is in. When we're at the movie theater, or how many times you see that person from afar and it's like, oh my God, please don't say nothing, you know, please don't say nothing, you know. So I wanted to talk about that. Call us if you have a question. If you have a question for Raw or Mama Joe, if you just want to chime in on the curse of infidelity, give us a call at 915-5202. I wanted to talk about that and the cause and effect. Let's talk about in the event there's children thrown up in the mix, because that's huge when there's babies that's thrown up in the mix. Because how does it affect them? How does it affect them? Hi, you're on the air, caller. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
This is D.I. I just ran across the show.
Hey.
Yeah, and I'm just very, fascinated by the topic right now about the cheating and things like that.
Okay.
You know, it's very interesting.
Okay.
They say love is an action.
Okay.
And I definitely agree with that, you know. Just wanted to big up Raw, you know, also for doing this thing, just putting his real life out there. It get real deep. It get real deep. It take a real man to do something like that, you know. And he definitely been staying focused on this, and I hope it'll open up eyes to other guys and things like that that's out here cheating in the present, in the past, that have done it and things like that. And it go both ways for women too.
True.
I just wanted to call and just give y'all some support on the topics that y'all
definitely.
This is D.I.
Thanks, D.I. We appreciate you calling. We appreciate you watching. Continue watching. If you have another call or, a question or a comment, we thank you for the support, okay? And you have a good holiday, hon.
Definitely, you too.
Okay. And I want to piggyback off of what he said, because that's true. We talked about this. Always the hardest thing in the world is to look at that man or that woman in the mirror, okay? And I know that, when we first started talking about Confessions of a Cheating Man, when we started talking about my book, The BS Theory, way before Steve Harvey even came out with his book, people don't like to hear the truth. Remember, we talked about this. You can't handle the truth. We'll look at all kinds of foolishness. We'll talk about all kinds of foolishness. We'll watch that on TV. But when it comes to the reality of talking about real things that are affecting real people every day, people kind of want to shy away from it. But if we don't talk about it, how do we fix it? Okay, how do we fix it if we don't talk about it? I mean, I know when I first met him, I was in the hospital and he came to meet me, and we started dialoguing about the book, and I started reading it. And the first thing they were like, yeah, you need security. You're going to have to walk around with bodyguards because you're keeping it real and you're telling the truth. And I remember he and I dialoguing about how he would walk in barbershops and guys would be like, nah, man, I don't, and stuff, because no one wants to go. So whether you've been a cheater or whether you've been cheated on, the reality is infidelity is huge. Okay, and it's something that we need to talk about in order to restore the village, because trust is a major issue in this village that's disenfranchised. Yes. It's a major issue, and the majority of the people who have trust issues is because of either they witnessed infidelity, they seen it. I remember back in the days, I don't want to say that it was okay to cheat,